800-262-5483.
At PJ Fitzpatrick, you don't have to pick between affordability and quality. You can get American-made windows that are beautiful, affordable, and energy efficient. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Plus, they provide peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor for your new windows. You can have it all. Visit TrustPJ.com for a free design consultation. That's TrustPJ.com.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
The Working Families of La Labor's District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor's District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Brought to you by the Laborers District Council Licit Fund.
Hi, I'm Nancy Cartwright. You may know me better as the voice of Bart Simpson. On Simpsons Declassified, we're diving into the mysteries that keep the Simpsons forever young. Have you ever wondered how the Simpsons regularly predicts future events? Who better to ask than the show's creators, performers, and writers, the celebrity guests? Be sure to follow and listen to Simpsons Declassified wherever you get your podcasts.
Now that the summer wind has come and gone, come fly with me to the Philly Pops for Luck Be a Lady, the music of Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. Hi, I'm Eddie Bruce. Join me and fellow vocalist Kelly LeVeque alongside the incredible musicians of the Philly Pops as we celebrate two of the greatest voices of all time. Don't miss this incredible performance, an unforgettable night of swinging standards, classic hits, and rich arrangements. Tickets are going fast. Visit phillypops.org today.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Pennsylvania can count on.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of the Knesset and cherished citizens of Israel, we gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith, and above all, a day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. After 2 harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity.
Beautifully written, beautifully stated. The guns are silent, the sirens are still, the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land, a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity. Those words from President Donald J. Trump as he was addressing the parliament there in Israel. And you saw repeatedly, if you were watching early this morning, that he received multiple standing ovations as they clap in unison. Such a great day for us as President Trump continued. I know we have a short segment here, so we want to bring you some of the highlights since before sunrise here in our region, and President Trump addressing, obviously, Knesset, and then right now traveling to Egypt, where he will certainly be addressing a Middle East summit with world leaders. And so for this one, let's continue on, if we can, Dan Borowski, executive producer, as we hear President Trump describe this. I'll skip down to, let's go to T6, where he speaks about the chaos and the terror, and now it is a new day.
At least the forces of chaos, terror, and ruin that have plagued the region for decades now stand weakened, isolated, and totally defeated. A new coalition of proud and responsible nations is emerging, and because of us, the enemies of all civilization are in retreat. Thanks to the bravery and incredible skill of the Israeli Defense Forces and Operation Rising Lion,
another standing ovation for
that's
President
central
Trump.
casting. Let's put him in a movie. Look at him. Great job. And my people loved working with you. Loved it.
Great job to you, Mr. President. President Trump, through his actions, demonstrating what leadership looks like. And right now, as I say, President Trump is en route to Egypt for this Middle East Peace Summit with world leaders. Somebody who I know from a beloved Pennsylvanian, by the way, who has also been praying for peace, like so many of you have, like I have, like we all have. Jeff Bartos, honored to have you here this morning. Your reaction to this incredible day. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Dawn. It's wonderful to be with you, and I hope that you and Larry and your whole family are well, and all your listeners are well on this momentous, monumental, historic day. I guess, first of all, thank you for having me. There were so many things to point out from the president's speech this morning in Israel. I guess I'd start with it's really true, if we reflect on it, that everything changed around 11:30 at night on November 5th of 2024. Everything changed from that moment forward. We were there in the war room in Philadelphia, knowing that the president had won Pennsylvania, and we were starting to celebrate, and you knew the election was then going to be called. And really from that, I know so many people from the campaign who were working on these issues relating to getting the hostages home and ending the war, and the work that they've done behind the scenes and the president's leadership, they just haven't stopped in over a year. And then to reach this day is, we would say, in our faith, we'd say a Shehekianu, the blessed God for getting us to this day, for allowing us to live to this day. So what a blessed day.
It is. And your reaction as well to just the fast-paced development. I mean, I know that we're saying, yes, in November, this is what we voted for, but we're now learning, we're just learning that, in fact, it was, Steve Witkoff, Jerry Kushner, who traveled and actually met face-to-face with Hamas last week. We're just learning that. And then how this all developed. And even I will say, networks like CNN, I saw the Wall Street Journal. I mean, let's just be honest. Those in the media who have not been friendly have been extremely complimentary. Is this, do you think, a turning point when you look at the magnitude of what's happening, a turning point for all of us where maybe we can have some common ground on peace and prosperity, which is obviously the focus of this administration and this president.
Well, it's a great point. We are watching an American president who's the most consequential and effective president in our lifetimes for peace, prosperity, and security. And his mantra, his leadership with the thought peace through strength, which of course was a continuation from President Reagan's very, very important work that he did to end the Cold War and to defeat the USSR. I mean, that peace through strength, which has been the watchword of the President Trump, really since he came down the escalator 10 years ago. It worked. It works. It works, and it has worked. And I think we should also marvel if you saw the president's schedule, leaving Washington, D.C. yesterday, traveling overnight, going right to the Knesset, meeting. I mean, Dawn, I've had the privilege, the honor, and the solemn experience of meeting with released hostages, meeting with the families of hostages who were in captivity until today, and, of course, meeting with the families who've lost loved ones who were murdered on October 7th or who were murdered in the dungeons of Gaza. And the fact that the president stepped off the plane, went right to Jerusalem, met, listened, and did what only he can do, provide that presidential leadership, meeting with the families, and then stepping out onto into the Knesset to deliver this powerful, beautiful remarks. And then he's going to travel to Egypt now, and then travel back to award the Medal of Freedom to Mrs. Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow. It's just it's amazing. His leadership is amazing. His stamina and his energy are inspiring. It's really, I mean, I guess too, Dawn, I know how important your faith is to you. Yes. To go from Butler in July of 2024, quarter of an inch, president saves, to today, and all the things that have happened since January 20th. It's a really remarkable, historic journey, and it continues. And I think those of us who campaigned for the president, which is happened to thousands of volunteers in Pennsylvania. I called actually the leadership of the campaign this morning.
You did?
I did. I called them early this morning, both of them, two of my close friends who really led the efforts here in Pennsylvania, just to share a quiet moment and to thank them. Thank them for helping to make this day possible. It's thousands of volunteers, great leadership, and a once-in-a-100-year talent in leadership in President Trump.
In some ways, it seems like 10 years ago. In some ways, it seems like yesterday. At all those Trump Force 47 meetings, and you and I saw you at some of them. I know you went to many more. And you think about that, just everything that has happened. And I hope, and I know you feel this way, Jeff, that Pennsylvanians were critical to making, the fact that January 20th actually came to fruition, and then by the very nature of that, today. And so I know that you have a special, obviously as a Pennsylvanian, a soft spot for the Pennsylvanians who stood in line, who went to all those Trump Force 47 meetings, who talked to their neighbors and said, believe me, this will bring forth change. I know you have just a special place in your heart for every Pennsylvanian who did that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was why, this watching, I mean, tens of millions of people around the world did not sleep at all last night as they waited for the news that the 20 living hostages had been freed because of President Trump and the leadership he's shown. And once that word came, a sense of relief and joy, and also reflecting, on the hostages who were murdered, and of course the American citizens, and the other 1,100 people who were murdered on October 7th. You reflect on that as well. But to think that, yes, the campaign, every day of that campaign, the volunteers who knocked on doors, who made the phone calls, and President Trump was here all the time. You recall, he was here in Pennsylvania all the time. Yet just yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of serving meals at the McDonald's drive-thru. So, right in Bucks County. So yes. it's just a quiet reflection on how fortunate we are to be living in a time where we have American strength. And then the president said so many things this morning that were so impactful. For me, he talked about civilization versus barbarism, which was a theme he talked about often on the campaign. And he mentioned something this morning, too, about never forget, never again. And to hear an American president, this president, who we all work so hard for, to deliver those words in the Holy Land, very special. Don, before I want to make sure we don't run out of time. My wife Cheryl and I were reflecting on this morning, and she brought up a point which I hadn't thought about. She said, think about the generations of future children who will now be born because President Trump brought peace and he freed the hostages. And I hadn't thought about that, and it's a beautiful sentiment, which I'm going to try to share as much as I can today. But credit to my wife for thinking about that. It was very emotional when she brought that up. And,
Cheryl, thank you for that. That's beautiful that she said that.
Yeah, she's it's been a long 2 years for a lot of people, and hopefully the healing now can start. Over the last couple of weeks, I've met with probably 40 released hostages or families of current hostages who've just been freed, and our prayers and love go out to them, of course, and just the prayer most of all that they can begin to heal.
It's beautifully said, Jeff Bartos. Let me just ask one last question. Dan Borowski,
I just wanted to play some video of the hostages for Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to put that in the background while you talk to Jeff here. There you go.
Well, when we think about, for example, with the hostages for the first time in 238 days, you can't even imagine, and seeing family members and the hugs, the tears as we watch this. And it's, I know early this morning I was in tears. I think all of us were as we, watched some of this unfold. And you think about like what your wife Cheryl said as well, that they do have a future. This morning, some of you had mentioned, wow, they look like they're in great condition. But then when you remember, and Jeff, you have met with some of these families, when you look at their pictures that the families have of some of these young men from 2 years ago, and you look at that before and after, some of them were 17 the last time their families saw them, and now they look, in their 30s. I mean, you see the toll this has taken. I'm thankful that they're alive with their, oh my goodness. It's just, you can't even imagine this as we watch the hugs. Oh. And for everyone watching this, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just going to say, without revealing, respecting the confidences of some of the conversations that I've been privileged to have these last 3 weeks, and frankly, these last 2 years, but certainly in the last 3 weeks, I will say most recently, which was 2 Fridays ago, we met with over 25, a couple of freed hostages, but mostly family members of current hostages who were just released today. And in this closed door private meeting up in New York, but they just kept asking, please, you see things, things, tell us what we'll get. And my colleague, Morgan Ortegas, and I, but I really follow Morgan's lead. She's just such a beautiful spokesperson. I mean, she is beautiful at how she delivers messages and how she communicates, and she's just very talented at listening and reflecting. And so I followed her lead. But what we both shared with the families more than anything was we don't know anything more than you do. But what we do know is that President Trump is committed with everything he has to end this war, free the hostages, and bring your loved ones home. And we could say that with absolute confidence. And we knew it then. We've known it for, we've known it for 2 years, that only his leadership could make this day possible. And, today it happened. So it's just, I'm grateful for the opportunity to have had those interactions and those meetings, and to have delivered the message of hope that President Trump was committed to this, and he and Ambassador Witkoff and Secretary Rubio Jared Kushner and the whole team that's been working day and night on this for almost a year. They got it done. So God bless them. God bless the peacemakers.
Mm-hmm. God bless you, Jeff Bartos. You've been involved behind the scenes as well, but we just, you've made Pennsylvania proud, and we love the Pennsylvania side of things from your perspective, and your wife Cheryl's beautiful thoughts and messages too. Just thank you so much, Jeff Bartos, for joining us live this morning.
Well, it's my pleasure. Sending you and the whole team a big hug, and thanks for having me on. Thanks for covering this story. Thanks for never ever stopping, shining a light on this important fight between civilization and barbarism. Dawn, you've been fantastic, and I look forward to seeing you in person again soon.
Can't wait to see you. Big hug to you from all of us from here at PHT, but also my husband Larry sends his best to the kids, and to you and Cheryl and your family. We really just adore you, and you're such a good man, and we appreciate you. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Be well.
You as well. You know, Jeff Bartos mentioned this whirlwind trip as well. Think about it. President Trump, and he's making his way now to Egypt. If you think about this, traveling all night. They did an audio only on Air Force One, and he told the press pool, hey, get some sleep. You know, he's telling them, get your rest. And what a warrior for peace, a warrior for truth. Seriously, this is what I voted for. But I want you to just understand, the day is just early for Trump, because after this, he heads back to the States. Remember that he's preparing ahead of Charlie Kirk's, what would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday. President Trump will be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously, obviously, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And so that will be a ceremony, Charlie Kirk's what would have been his birthday tomorrow. So he is nonstop working for no salary, by the way. Think about that. And he's not running on fumes. I think he's running on the fever of, I don't know what to say, running on the prayers and the energy that we all keep fueling him with to say, make America great again. And that's on you and me. Keep the prayers coming, because I swear, I think we've made a believer out of this man. I don't know if he was a believer before, in all seriousness, but we'll make a believer out of him yet if he wasn't before. And so I'm proud of our president too. He's been real honest about his faith. You know, you notice that, right? In if you get all of the messages, he says, I don't know if I'm going to heaven yet. He doesn't quite have assurance of salvation yet, but he's very honest about that. So keep those prayers coming. Dawn Stensland here, 855-839-1210. We'll talk about the magic, kitchen magic. There's something going on that is really something special with my friends at Kitchen Magic. And we'd be nothing without our sponsors. In all seriousness, we'd be nothing without you, without our loyal sponsors. As, you know, the fall weather is upon us, the perfect time to refresh your home with Kitchen Magics. They've been around. Kitchen Magic has been around more than 45 years, family-owned, American-made, tariff-proof, delivering high-quality kitchens and bath remodels that you can trust. Right now, this fall, Kitchen Magic giving you even more to smile about. You enjoy 40% off installation on every kitchen and bathroom project. Bring the warmth, the comfort, the style to your home. It's a reset this season with savings you're going to love. Call them, Kitchen Magic. You can visit kitchenmagic.com, kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. BABBEL.com.
Hi, this is Don Giordano. Exciting news from my friends at Bentz Dental Group. Dr. Bentz and Dr. Cooley Bentz are thrilled to welcome a new prosthodontist to the team, their daughter, Dr. Emily Bentz. Dr. Emily is thrilled to join her father in continuing to provide the highest quality care and solution-based treatments. So if you're a patient with complex dental need or a general dentist who could use some backup on those complicated cases, Bentz Prosthodontics is your #1 solutions provider. Visit them at BentzDentalGroup.com to book a consultation today.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hi, friends. This is Kathy Barnett. On October 25th, we're bringing the Seed and Root Summit to Philadelphia, talking about faith, family, and the future of work in America. CEOs, Heritage Foundation, pastors, even voices you don't expect, like Killer Mike, 3-time Grammy winner, will be in the room discussing our kids, our jobs, and our country. Seats are going fast, and October 25th is right around the corner. Get your ticket at kathybarnett.com, kathybarnett.com. Be in the room where it happens.
Jack Daniels and Coca-Cola, tailgating and watching the birds. It doesn't get any better. So stop by your local fine wine and good spirits and grab yourself a 4-pack of Jack and Coke and Jack and Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. You can also sample some new flavors in a variety 6-pack as well. All available at your local fine wine and good spirits. And all ready to drink in a can. Jack and Coke, born for the tailgate. Please drink responsibly. Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Let's talk about your health. You need to undergo complex dental surgery. I'm talking the whole 9 yards, implants, crowns, etc. Are you really going to trust just any pop-up dental chain, or do you want the best of the best? When it comes to complex dental surgery, for over 12 consecutive years, Dr. Mike Veneria, Veneria Dental, has been recognized by his peers as a master of complex, masterful dentistry. Dr. Mike treats other doctors. The experts call Dr. Mike the expert. You want a dentist who actually cares about your health, and with Dr. Mike, it's not about cost, it's about care. His compassion and commitment to your health is his top priority, and that is why Dr. Mike is a dentist the entire Zioli family trusts. When it comes to your health, including your dental health, that's never the time to cut corners. You want the best and only the best. So make your appointment to see him today and get a free dental implant consultation. If you already had an estimate for one, get a second opinion. It's worth doing. 856-786-2020, VeneriaDental.com.
In the year 2021, all pet food sold comprised of 94% dry kibble. And now, 5 years later, only 61% continues to be kibble. And everything else is alternative fresh diets. At the Dogs and Cats Rule stores, we have been the leader of fresh premium foods from the beginning. Whether it be raw, gently cooked, air-dried, dehydrated, freeze-dried, and of course that previously mentioned kibble, Dogs and Cats Rule has the largest selection of cutting-edge products of any of the neighborhood pet stores. That's Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Looking to grow your money? First Harvest Credit Union is celebrating its newest branch location in Voorhees, New Jersey, with a limited time 8.5% annual percentage yield share or IRA certificate for 13 months. Visit our Voorhees branch at 6 Haddonfield Berlin Road to open the account. Learn more at firstharvestcu.com/grand opening. Membership restrictions apply. Offer available to new members only with maximum deposit amount of $1,000 in new money. Insured by NCUA.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Now, you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
As President Trump has just arrived in Egypt, talk about a whirlwind schedule, flying overnight, arriving there, and then the hostages released, speaking before addressing the Israeli parliament, Knesset, traveling now to Egypt, where he's expected to speak for this peace summit, where this officially will be signed. Just another local angle, by the way, Senator John Fetterman saying that he's shocked any Democrat would refuse to celebrate President Trump freeing the hostages in Gaza and ending the war. So he was speaking out on, I believe this morning, this was yesterday with our friend Maria Bartiromo. But Senator John Fetterman among those, and I'm thankful that this can be bipartisan. I think we can all agree, right? Peace should be bipartisan. Can we all just have that for a moment? But President Trump is expected to speak any moment. We have Kathy Barnett. She's coming up. We have some sad news as far as one of our friends and I'll talk about this moving forward, but some sad news that we learned over the weekend with one of our dear friends who many of you have gotten to know as well. So we'll update you there. Dan, I don't know what we're going to do here. I know that the podium is ready.
I do a Fetterman if you want some of that from yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolute elation. I mean, how can't we all celebrate this thing? I mean, you've had human beings held underground for over 2 years and tortured and beaten and starved, forced to dig their own graves and things. Now they can finally come back home. And now everyone should be celebrating these things. And clearly the Palestinians are, and people in Israel are too. And now there are people in our nation, some of those aren't really celebrating or even acknowledging a thing. And that's part of the truth there too. It really was never about peace. It was more about an anti-Israel agenda. And now why can't we all, where you are politically, this is a huge development. And this terrible, awful war is going to come to an end. And now you can rebuild Gaza, and these families are now reunited. That's a big thing, and it's a strange time if you can't celebrate this.
And that's just it. Who among us in America today, as far as Democrats, cannot just celebrate peace and hostages coming home, but just wait for it, right? As far as, and I'll just point this out, that President Trump flew on Air Force One again, landed at the airport there in Egypt, meeting with Middle Eastern leaders to solidify and sign this peace accord in the region. This is history that we are witnessing live in real time here. And you think about Trump Force 47. Is this part of what you voted for? Did you ever even imagine that he would work at this warp speed when we talk about Trump Force, defying anything that we've ever seen in our history? I'm just going to say it. And then where are those? We have to start thinking back about those, detractors who said, oh, he'll never get peace. So how many peace deals do we have here? He's going on, this will be number 8, I believe. Is it 8? And then if he gets Ukraine, Russia, number 9. And I'll say this to you. Do you remember when we all realized in the previous administration, we all realized that when the world was watching the weakness, just to do a contrast, they were watching the weakness. And that's when Afghanistan, when they were watching, especially Putin in particular, was watching the disastrous withdrawal by Biden from Afghanistan. And that's when many now say that's when they decided to make the move on Ukraine. And so if we flip this now and say, okay, they're watching the world come together, they're China and Russia, they're watching all of this in real time. Does this help expedite the peace, hopefully, peace progress for Russia, Ukraine? Does it then, if we watch everything in reverse, does it then impact China to step in line and say, all right, we all want prosperity, we all want peace? And does this just change the history? And then I want you to think about this. If, God forbid, President Trump did not get, sworn in January 20th of this year, think about what we would not have seen. I'm taking you, let's go in the DeLorean and then change it all up. And so just say a prayer that things continue, right? And thank you, God. Thank God that this is the progression. This is the history we're seeing. And that's thanks to you. Think about this. You stood in that line. Remember that? And I get choked up every time, Dan Borowski, every time we think about it, I still get choked up. You stood in line. Remember that? We were on election night, was right here, and Zioli was on the line with President Trump. President Trump, what do you say to people? And there were some problems and, in air quotes, irregularities. And President Trump said, yes, stand in line, stay in line. You did. And so I want you to just fast forward that and think about, we have an upcoming election day, New Jersey. Okay. So maybe you think your vote doesn't matter. Maybe you think that you cannot change the course of history. Yes, you can.
Hey, we should probably
by peacefully staying in line. That's what you need to do.
Here you go, Don, some live breaking.
Oh, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
President Trump, in Israel just now, you were talking about a possible Iran peace deal. You said, we are ready when you are. Yeah. Is that the ultimate goal with today's signing, to get enough?
Not Iran, but I think Iran will come along. They've been battered and bruised, and they need some help. They have big sanctions, as you know, tremendous sanctions. I'd love to take the sanctions off when they're ready to talk, but they can't really survive with those sanctions. Those sanctions are very tough. But at some point, they're going to say, we want the sanctions off. We're going to end up with peace. I think Iran is going to be fine. I know so many Iranian people. They're great people. They're smart, great people. Engineers, lawyers. I mean, they're academics. But they took a big hit. And frankly, if we didn't hit them with the nuclear, I don't think you would have been able to have this incredible, this deal, this once-in-a-lifetime deal. Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening today. And countries have all come together, all different countries. Some liked each other, some didn't, most didn't. And they've all come together. Every country has come together. And by the way, Iran did put out a statement, that they support this deal very wholeheartedly. So that was in itself something. But no, I think they want to, that's all I do in my life. I make deals. And they want to make a deal.
So there you hear President Trump taking some questions, and that's before this very important, historic Mideast Peace Summit.
It's a pretty gruesome task, and they know where numerous are, as you know. I guess 5 or 6 are in yet now, but they're looking for bodies. They know the areas, and they search parties out, and they're doing it in conjunction with Israel, and they're going to be finding quite a few of them.
President Trump, can you tell us when phase 2 of the negotiations will begin?
Well, it started. It started as far as we're concerned. Phase 2 has started. And, the phases are all a little bit mixed in with each other. You're going to start cleaning up. If you look at Gaza, it needs a lot of cleanup. That's why when I talked in my speech, I talked about the debris. I used the word debris. That's debris times 10. So, but they're going to really do a job. They have a lot of power. In another room, you have some of the wealthiest nations in the world. All leaders, the big leaders are here, the emirs and the kings and everybody, and it's a very interesting group. I guess we have like 35 countries, and that's only because they were the 35 that we invited. Everybody that we invited came. So there's a lot of respect. And I think you'll see some tremendous progress, both in the Middle East. This country is doing very well. It has good leadership. It's about leadership. And it's really nice when you say, how is your crime situation? And they don't even know what you're talking about. What do you mean crime? We don't have crime. Because if he has crime, he puts it out very quickly. Some people think that's not nice, but I think it's great. Because people don't want to be mugged and smashed, and they don't want to be stupid people. They have a place that is doing very well. We're very proud of him, because we knew each other from the beginning. The first time I met, it was in a hotel, and I was going to meet him, and then Hillary Clinton was following me. Remember? Hillary Clinton. And he liked me so much, he never even got to see Hillary. He saw her for about 2 seconds. But he didn't really want to waste a lot of time. He knew what was going to happen. But that was the first time we met, and we had a very good chemistry together. And it continues till today. So I want to thank you all very much. I appreciate the way you covered this really momentous, I've never seen anything like it. The level of love, the level of respect for what it is, and it's peace in the Middle East, and everybody said it's not possible to do, and it's going to happen, and it is happening as before your very eyes, and that's why it's become so fascinating. Marco, do you have anything to say?
Egypt's been a phenomenal participant. I think both Steve and Jared will tell you the critical role they played, and they can tell you themselves. They hosted the talks here, and they're going to play a very important role now in the follow-up, the implementation of this, which is really, it's not simply about restoring Gaza, it is about transforming the region. So we have an incredible partner, a long alliance, very capable partner here, and a tremendous collection of leaders. This is clearly, in my mind, I think in the mind of everyone in this room, probably one of the most important days for world peace in 50 years. And that's not an exaggeration.
Only 50?
Maybe 100. Certainly since the end of World War II, Mr. President.
Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner, I'm curious, you played such an important role in the tactical negotiations here. What will your role be going forward as a lot more has to be brought to the table here?
Oh, the minute we had inked the deal, Jared and I were already working on the implementation side of the deal. So we're dug in. We'll be here quite a bit. That's at the direction of the president. That's probably going to be one of the most important phases here. Jared is remarkable to work with. I talk about it all the time. And of course, we both love working for the president. So it's feels like a very honorable job.
Mr. President, would you like to say something with the interpreter?
Yes. هنا في البداية أنا أرحب بفخامة الرئيس وأنا سعيد وكل شرف موجودة في شرم الشيخ مدينة السلام. يسمح لي فخامة الرئيس أن أنا اسمي وباسم كل المصريين ويمكن حتى.
So as the Egyptian president is speaking on this historic day, you heard Marco Rubio say 50 years, maybe 100 years. We'll pause momentarily. Dawn Stensland here, live for you. Pause momentarily for station ID.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
So we've been covering this live and breaking, really since 6 o'clock this morning, but many of you, if you were up in the wee hours of the morning, around 3 o'clock this morning, because obviously they're, 7 hours ahead of us. And so it's the evening there. President Trump has been going full speed ahead, overnight flight into the Middle East, hostages released, peace on the table, signing this Mideast peace deal. Now, you heard him say dozens of countries. We have anywhere from around 30, 35 different leaders representing all these different nations worldwide, including, for example, Canada, the UK, all across the world. So they'll get this done, and then flying back on an all-nighter, overnight flight, to then sign the proclamation in honor of Charlie Kirk's birthday. Let's bring in our friend, the one and only Kathy Barnett, for your reaction. Kathy, good morning.
Good morning, Dawn.
Can you share your thoughts, your reaction to this morning's developments? I know we've all been praying for peace in the Middle East, but what are your thoughts as you see this unfold live?
Well, I mean, like most of us, I am gathering the information as everyone else is, and you don't fully know or appreciate, all of the intricacies. Yes, pray. First and foremost, let's pray. I am very grateful for what we see. When I woke up this morning, the Hamas peace deal was still intact. We'll see where that is, where that continues to go. My hope is that we can begin to see some peace in this particular event. We know, I mean, if you're a Bible-believing Christian, you have an idea of where these things are going to go. But for right now, I am hopeful that we can come to some sort of resolution and we can end this, what we've been experiencing for the past several years since October 7th.
Yeah, and you think about this is day 5, technically, of that ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas so-called war in Gaza. So 20 live hostages, they're released. We announced that earlier this morning, actually 6 o'clock when we came on the air during Kale and Company. It had happened, a few hours prior. And now as we see this happening, that's only phase 1 of a 20-point peace plan. So to your point, I think everybody's hoping to God this thing holds. As far as world reaction goes, Kathy, I will say this, and it takes, whenever I mention Senator Fetterman, who was really appropriate, but it's hard for me, to say this because I always think that should be you. That should be my friend, Senator Barnett. I still say it. I'm going to say it out loud until I'm blue in the face. I'm grateful that on this issue he's correct, but I'm just saying it for the record, just so everybody knows, because I believe in you and I hope you'll think about running again. We'll talk about. I have to say, you all know me. Like I'm not going to switch that. All right, so I had to say it.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, listen, the reality is I am not the senator. The reality is that we have other people who are occupying this space. And I believe it is incumbent upon us to pray for our leadership, to be in their face, so to speak, to make and hold their feet to the fire of accountability, and to really desire that we have more sober-minded individuals who understand the times that we're living in, who will do the right thing for the people, right? And not for some political agenda. That's why when you look at this shutdown of our federal government and you pause long enough to actually listen to what the other side is saying. And are they advocating for Americans? Or are they advocating for illegals? Or are they advocating for some other agenda? We want leaders who will actually advocate for the American people. And peace between Israel and Hamas, that benefits the American people. And so we should expect our leaders. It shouldn't be, a one-off situation and a surprise when we have Democrats who look into this situation and say, okay, who started this? How did this even begin? And what do we want for the American people? We should actually want our leaders to do what Fetterman has consistently done on this topic of Israel.
So you're supportive of, at least when he's right on this topic as far as his stance. And he's been pretty much consistent on this one, as far as supporting the Middle East peace and supporting, President Trump and this administration, much to the, chagrin of his own party.
I align with Sean Farish when he says on issues that matter, when it comes to voting on issues where his vote will make the difference on something that we're advocating versus something that the Democrats are advocating, he will never align with us. But on the verbal affirmation of supporting Israel, he has been consistent in that regard, in supporting supporting peace when it comes to Israel and what we see with Hamas. And so I think we take it for what it is. We need it. The Democrats are truly a rudderless boat right now. They're just drifting in the wind, and it's costing us something. When you're looking at what's going on in Portland, Oregon, when you're looking at what's going on in D.C. right now, our nation cannot long survive as that becomes spread across the nation. And you look at what's happening with New York and Zohran Mamdani. We have a very real problem. Our nation is in trouble, and we need better leadership. We need more sober leadership. And I think we take it where we can get it, and we fan the flames of what Fetterman is doing, and we hope that those emeralds begin to spark the fire under some of the other people on the other side of the aisle.
That's well said. As far as I know, Mike Johnson was speaking this morning because we still don't have a budget here in Pennsylvania or in D.C., our federal budget, by the way. But I know they were speaking this morning, and that blame game continues. What's your sense? What's your reaction to the fact that we still don't have agreement? We still have the shutdown. I know that President Trump and Vice President Vance over the weekend confirmed that they would, figure out of the tariff money how to pay the military, and that they're trying to mitigate some of that. But just your reaction to this ongoing budget battle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I'm just going to double click on what I've said already, is that our nation is in trouble. We need better people. But in this country, up to this point, we are still a republic, meaning we, the people, still get to go out, and for the most part, y'all know, I know all about the shenanigans that have gone on with our voting system, but for the most part, we still get the overwhelming ability to go in and to vote our values and to vote people in and out who actually go to D.C. to work for the American people. This is the reason why I have my upcoming event, 13 days away now, Saturday, October 25th. Seed and Roots, we're talking about faith, family, and the future of work. I brought in all kinds of really great and substantive people from all around the nation, like Charlie Kirk. We need to keep having a conversation. If we allow ourselves to become disconnected, stick our head in the sand, unplug from what's going on, we are going to continue to get the kind of quote-unquote leadership we have today, where they're not advocating for our values or the values that will make our nation strong for the next generation. So I'm doing my part in making sure that we continue to have the conversation, because when you're no longer having conversations, you're looking like Portland, Oregon right now. And again, our country cannot long survive the strain of what we're seeing in Portland, Oregon becomes commonplace all across our nation. And there are people who are advocating for that, what you're seeing in Portland, Oregon, to become and to be in your backyard. So please go to KathyBarnett.com. The tickets are very low, $49. Go get your ticket, be in the room, breakfast, lunch, entertainment, great conversations, door prizes. I'm doing all that I know to do to make sure that we are constantly having the right conversation and that people are informed, so that when you go into the ballot box this November, next year, midterm, and in 2028, you are better informed.
And if you go to KathyBarnett.com, you'll see all of the speakers. So this is for a full day at the National Constitution Center. I can tell you, you can park it's easy parking. You come in, you park right below or right in the vicinity, wherever you choose to park, but it's super easy to get there. And it's the National Constitution Center, which is a wonderful venue, beautiful venue. But man,
beautiful.
You worked hard to put together an incredible list of different inspirational speakers, some big national names, Kathy.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, on our side, yes, sometimes we want to go to an environment where where it's just a bunch of cheerleaders, rah, rah, and everybody feel good in the moment, and then they go back home and sit down and watch The Voice, which I love watching The Voice. But at the same time, I'm very thoughtful about the people that I'm bringing on. I want deliberate conversation. I baked into every single panel. We have 4 panels, a time for Q&A, going to the audience. This is not something where you just go, sit, get fat, and then go home. No, we want to exercise each other and have deliberate conversation. It is a safe environment on federal property. We have security that will be there. By the grace of God, this will be an amazing event. One of really just, I think we need hope, we need purpose. I have a number of young clubs, young people in various clubs who have purchased like 20 tickets at a time, and these young people are coming in all across the state. I'm just so excited. I just got off the phone. People are flying in from across the nation in Tennessee and other places to be in this room. So Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, go get your ticket at KathyBarnett.com. And let's do this. Let's be an encouragement to one another. Let's iron sharpening iron. Let's have some real conversations. I mean, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, wealth creation. We're going to be talking to CEOs of multi-billion-dollar companies as they sit and look across the horizon, what is coming. But we're also going to be talking about something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is the Black community, and specifically how the history of this country as it relates to Black people has been used to blackmail the broader American culture to accept ideas, policies, and behaviors that we would never otherwise accept because we feel some kind of way in this country about slavery and Jim Crow law. There are a group of people who have used that to blackmail the rest of us. If they open up the border and 20 million people walk in, and if you feel some kind of way about that, they say, oh, you're racist. If a man in a dress want to come and twerk in front of your 5-year-old, and if you say, I don't feel comfortable with that, oh, you're a racist. And so they've used the history of this nation to blackmail the rest of us to accept behaviors and policies and decisions that we otherwise would not accept. But now you got to turn to the Black community and say, because Vivek used to say this all the time, people only sell what you're willing to buy. So the other side is selling victimhood, but Black people are buying it. We got to get to the core of that. We got to start double clicking and realizing and come to an understanding of why are Black people accepting victimhood when that's the complete opposite of what we should be expecting in today's culture. We are not victims. We live in the greatest country that has ever existed. We're going to be bringing in all kinds of diverse voices. Let's have real conversations about how we get from under this rock that has been placed on top of all of us, and specifically our children.
KathyBarnett.com. Kathy, have a blessed day. You're the best. Everybody's got to do it.
Thank you, my friend. Blessings.
Thank you, Kathy. She's always busy, always high energy. But this is an amazing event, so I want you to check it out. KathyBarnett.com. And it's a full day's activities. And like she said, they have food. And I will say this, it's one of those things that, and the difference here is, you know how some of these you go to and it's just, I don't know, handshaking. Maybe it's the same old, same old. This is a provocative, I will say, you're going to learn something from different people who are industry leaders, philosophers, where you actually say, wow, I actually learned something there. So we have to take a quick break here, but thank you, Kathy Barnett. We'll have a friend joining us soon as well, talk about somebody near and dear to our hearts and a tribute to her. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I do have to talk about some of my friends and by the way, family-owned, family-operated, family-founded local company, My Guys, Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning, the all-in-one Mitsubishi Electric Heating and Air Conditioning mini split. I told you that My Guys at Marvin E. Cans, they installed this in our lower level. We had poor ventilation. We don't have the proper duct work. We didn't know what to do to fix it down there so we could have that proper HVAC, if you will. And man, my guys, Jonathan Cans, MarvinECans.com, they were the ones who solved, and Jonathan said, yeah, I know exactly what to do. It has been a total game changer. Take advantage right now of the tax credits of up to $2,000, rebates up to $1,100, expiring very soon. MarvinECans, KANZE.com, MarvinECans.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
Listen up, football fans. You marry at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply. And app only.
The talks that formed modern democracy took place in Philadelphia 250 years ago. Now, talks about the future of our democracy are taking place here once again. Visit Philadelphia is proud to host the TED Democracy Speaker Series, a powerful exploration of how we can build a society where everyone has access to education, economic mobility, safety, and dignity. Taking place October 14th at the Penn Museum in University City. Register for this free event today at visitphilly.com/TED.
This is Jonathan Cans, third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. My grandfather Marvin, a World War II vet, started our family business almost 75 years ago. He knew every customer personally. Today, the HVAC business has changed. Most guys like me have sold out to larger private equity firms, making most of my competitors a bunch of overpriced corporate rodeo clowns. If you want an HVAC company that's big enough to get you fast, but small enough to care and know who you are, then contact us at Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to MarvinECanze.com.
Everyone knows champs come from Philly, like the delicious and unbeatable Tasty Cake. Think about it. Mouth-watering candy cakes have a creamy layer of peanut butter filling on top of a delicious cake, all enrobed in a delicious chocolate coating. And let's talk about crimpets. Oh yeah, I love crimpets. A uniquely shaped fluffy cake topped with a delectable layer of smooth and subtle butterscotch icing. They're a home run every time. Whether you're rooting for the Phillies in the stadium or from the house, make sure you've got only the best treats on deck. Tasty Cake, accept no substitutes.
Add even more cash back to your cart this season with your American Heritage Cash Reward MasterCard. From now through January 31st, 2026, you'll earn 3% cash back on every purchase. Shopping, groceries, travel, and gas, you'll earn 3% cash back on it all. Plus, receive a $150 bonus reward when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days. Visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/cashback. Insured by NCUA. Not a member? Join today. Equal Opportunity Lender. For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk about prices. At National Appliance Warehouse, we have billions in buying power that we leverage in order to pass dramatic savings to our customers. We're passionate about offering the lowest price, so we developed Price Assured to ensure we always are. Price Assured uses powerful technology to scan chain store prices online and make sure ours is lower. Because Price Assured is connected to electronic tags throughout the showroom, it's able to update them instantly if an adjustment is needed. Our customers enjoy great service that rivals that of a small independent. While shopping with confidence, they're seeing the lowest possible price.
It's time to fall into savings at National Appliance Warehouse. There's still time to enjoy huge savings on GE appliances. Save up to 35% on select GE appliances. Browse an unmatched collection of GE, Cafe, GE Profile, and Monogram appliances. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
Hi, this is Merrill Reese. My wife Cindy and I had a new roof installed by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows, and we're delighted. When it comes to your roof, it's like football. Good planning is essential. Jack Impriano and his 4 sons are a true family business, serving our area for over 5 decades. If you need a new roof, call Jack Impriano Roofing. Online at Impriano.com. That's Impriano.com. It's Good to hire Jack and his team. Remember, the best homes have an Impriano roof.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer: an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Thanks for being with me this morning on this, what can only be called an historic day, and hopefully a game changer in world history, where we go toward peace in the Middle East, and hopefully this triggers a chain reaction in a good way. As I've been saying, hey, Dawn Stensland, at Dawn Stensland on X, 855-839-1210. Do we still have Al and Mulga Hill calling in?
Hey, Al.
Hey, Big Al, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Dawn. It's a pleasure to listen to you, and gosh, you gotta love Kathy Barnett. I mean, what an amazing young lady.
She is. I do. I love her.
Well, so do I. What I wanted to call in about is, I don't know if you've heard about it or not, but over in Gloucester County, New Jersey, you were talking about the elections and all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they did, the Democrats actually changed the format of our ballots over here, and they turned it from column to blocks, which was illegal. The Republicans took them to court. The judge said, it's illegal, but I'm not going to do anything about it. So then the Republicans appealed it, and then this other judge says, yes, they're going to reprint the ballots, and the Democrats had to pay, I think, approximately $26,000 to have this done. See, they're already starting to play games because the block ballots are a little bit more confusing.
It's ridiculous.
And so this is what they did, and you know, it's not getting much press or airtime, but they're playing their tricks again. And it just this is what makes me sick. A judge that says it's illegal and he doesn't do anything about it.
Unbelievable.
Yes, it is unbelievable. But on another note, I had a triple bypass last October.
How are you doing?
And I'm doing fantastic. God is good. And I appreciate, when I talked to you before, you guys were praying and all.
Yes.
And I love that you're not afraid to mention the word God. But I just want to say real quickly, a month before my surgery, my wife and I were down in Florida, and I was scheduled for surgery October 22nd. And God laid a little message on my heart when we were in Florida, and I talked to a couple of pastors, and they had me come and speak at their churches. And the message was this, and I'd like to get this out to people. It's easy to be a Christian when things are going good in our life.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to react when that so-called shoe drops? And that shoe is going to drop in everybody's life sooner or later, young, old, rich, poor, black, white, doesn't matter. And I proceeded to say, listen, are you still going to have the same faith? Are you still going to have the same belief? Are you still going to have the same trust in our Lord and Savior? Then I proceeded to say to the people, I said, I'm no big, bad, tough guy, but I'm not afraid to die. If the Lord calls me home on October 22nd, what am I going to say? Wait a minute. I fear nothing because of my faith. And I had to get this message out before my surgery, because if I talk about it after my surgery, people are going to say, you're only saying this because you're recovering. I did interviews, I did radio shows before my surgery because, I fear nothing. And I love it when you talk about God. And I think this is what we need more in this country.
Well, beautifully said, Al. I'm so glad that you're recovering so beautifully. And you actually just set up my next segment, which I just, we're just learning over the weekend. Sad news about a woman of faith and a woman who was really fearless, and many of you got to know her. So, Al, thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break and have the conversation when we think about keeping hope alive And may her memory be a blessing. We'll talk about it right around the corner. Stay right there. You want to hear this.
Cloudy, windy, and showers all day today with a high getting up to about 58 degrees. Cloudy tonight with a low getting down to about 55. More clouds moving in tomorrow with a high getting up to about 67, almost up to 70 degrees.
Fall means football, and the ultimate game plan starts in your kitchen. At D&K Appliances, we carry winning brands like GE, Bosch, Wolf, and Sub-Zero. So whether it's game day grilling, chilling drinks, or post-game cleanup, we've got you covered. Family owned with personalized service. D&K Appliances delivers, installs, and supports every play. Visit our showrooms in Newtown Square or Flowertown, or online at dkappliances.com. D&K Appliances, the dependable difference.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. And I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. When it comes to protecting your home, trust matters. Trust is everything. That's why I use and only recommend Emmons Roofing and Siding. They've been doing it right for over 35 years. Emmons is family-owned, local, and reliable. So whether you need roofing, siding, windows, or doors, Emmons has you covered. And as an Owens Corning Platinum contractor, they offer lifetime warranties on the roof. So call 855-4-EMMONS or visit callemmons.com today. Peace of mind is just a call away. Tell them I sent you.
Whether it's midfield or in the red zone, our hometown team can handle anything thrown their way. That's why PNC is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network and support the team's dedication to smart, tested tactics. Being adaptable and preparing a solid strategy pays off. And just like any big game, when it comes to your finances, there is a lot on the line. Having a dependable team allows you to make the plays you need to reach your goals. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Picking out an engagement ring can be terrifying. You're searching for the ring, but have no idea where to start. Go to Family & Company Jewelers in Marlton. The team, especially JR, makes it easy. No pressure, just real help from someone who cares. They break down diamonds, styles, and what actually matters. Their selection is huge. Every shape, size, and price range. You leave confident, not overwhelmed. When it comes to finding the ring, there's only one place to go. Family & Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Win your share of $500,000 in prizes at Borgata Hotel, Casino and Spa during the Strike It Rich drawing. Earn entries now through October 25th for your chance to win weekly prizes. On October 25th, 5 grand prize winners will win $25,000 worth of gold bullion. The $500,000 Strike It Rich drawing. Win your share of $500,000 in prizes only at Borgata.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The Don Stenslin Show. Don Stenslin live and local on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
It struck me in our last conversation when you think about life is too short and making sure that you make that phone call to your loved ones, to your friends. Oh, I'll see you soon. And that really is hovering around my head this weekend with news. Our dear friend, Hope Fox Danoff. You got to know Hope, many of you at the Trump Force 47 events. We were at so many different events, and she turned to me one day and she said, you know, Dawn, I think I want to really start something here that's not just during one campaign, but something that we can actually provide hope, bring in people maybe from the other side of the aisle, have the conversation. Such a high energy, beautiful on the outside and in human being, Hope Fox Danoff. And we learned that a sudden illness happened, a sudden illness hospitalization, and she went to heaven. And I hope I'm not the one telling you this. I hope that you learned it, but she was such a beautiful human being. I can't say enough, as she was the founder and president of Building Bridges with Hope, just a visionary leader, compassionate. You know her for her energy, her compassion. And we're showing some pictures. There she is with Jimmy Kelly. Remember, this is early on, I think maybe 4 years ago. And so she was having all these different events. And our own Jimmy Kelly, who has his, side deal that he does where he does a lot of DJing, and he DJ'd a couple events with Hope, and she just loved Jimmy. Early this morning, before we came on at 6, I had to find Jimmy and tell him, and tell Dan, you as well. I mean, it's just, I can't even believe it, to be honest, that this is happening. And it shows each and every one of us. I mean, she's so fit, so healthy. It just shows you how precious our time on this earth is. I want to bring in my dear friend, Bob Salerno. You know him from, as a now retired Philadelphia police, but Police Athletic League, as he runs this, and really helped co-found the Building Bridges with Hope, became a dear friend with Hope as well. Bob, I'm so sad, and I know you are as well, just brokenhearted, even though you're continuing on the mission that Hope really started, as we literally keep Hope alive within this and her spirit and what she'd want you to do. Good morning, Bob, and I'm just so sad about this. I can't even wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, good morning, Dawn. We're all very devastated. I mean, it was only up to a few weeks ago that she was in a spitting image of health, and
yes,
she took care of herself, and she was so full of life and energy, like no one else I've ever met. People around town used to call her the Dino, and
yes.
And she was just an amazing woman who we're going to miss for a long, long time.
And we're showing pictures of you guys together, but you're right. We've lost a bright light. There's no question.
There was a heart that was so full of love and so beautiful. I just never thought it would stop beating. And, she was just an amazing, with the energy she had. She put this program together, and she formed an organization in a family way. I mean, she started a family. We have a family here. It was like her and I, Amanda Bray, Tracy Matthew. There's another one, Mr. Smith, a few other people that
and we're showing pictures of all of you guys, by the way, that Dan, thank you, Dan Borowski has put together a beautiful montage of some of the people that you're speaking about who really became so close to Hope. And I know as you did.
Right. I mean, we became very close. Yeah, we became closer through the last couple of years. And then, we spoke sometimes 3-4 times a day on Building Bridges with Hope. She worked day and night, Dawn. I mean, she was amazing. She gave it all. And, for her to bring a program like this far in like 8 months was amazing. I mean, normally, you get recognized a little bit here and there, but I mean, she was like recognized all over. She was a go-getter. I mean, she really was. She knew how to do it. But
and usually,
we're all going to.
I'm sorry.
We're all very. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it broke up a little bit. Sorry about that. So if you go to buildingbridgeswithhope.org, buildingbridgeswithhope.org, and you can see it on here. So there's an event that, originally I wanted you to come on, Bob, and just promote the event, even though Hope had put out on social media, and she had told me it was mostly sold out for the event, very popular. But if you want to donate, to the mission, or if you've never heard me talk about Hope or interview her, you can look on here that, she has collaborative partners, corporate sponsors, testimonials, all of this. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. And it's actually on the Thursday, not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, moving forward, a big event. But she was, trying to raise money for this. So you can go to buildingbridgeswithhope.org. You can donate or volunteer, check out the little store that she had set up. But for you, Bob, I mean, my next question, I think the obvious next question is, well, who's going to carry on? And are you going to be here to help carry on Hope's mission?
Yeah, I will be. We work so close together, and her drive and love that she had, I just can't let this thing fail. We're going to work hard. I spoke to Amanda. I mean, she's just a dynamite lady. They just loved each other. And a few other people that we're going to keep it together, and we're going to fulfill her wishes. Yes, Building Bridges for Hope will be around for a long time. And, obviously, if people just could go to the website, click on the 3 lines and go down to donations. I mean, you may want to, just do a donation in her honor, her memory for all the things she done for the needy people as a thank you. I mean, that would be great. I mean, obviously, every organization needs, funding, and, obviously we could use it too, but, this organization will survive, and it's going to go on, and it's going to go on in her memory and her honor.
Yeah, and she was somebody who believed in outreach, advocacy. She has a capital campaign, the building fund for Max's House and Cafe there, and therapeutic, supportive. She supported job training resource center. She supported veterans events. We have our own Jimmy Kelly here. I know Jimmy DJ'd some events, and
he did. I see.
Yeah. And Jimmy,
great guy.
I just wanted, because I know we're just in shock here, as you are, Bob.
We are too. Our group is. I mean, it was just so unexpected. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, she wasn't ill. Just at the 1 second that last, and an emergency operation, and then she started the recovery, and then it all went south after that. So,
Jimmy, did you want to? I just wanted to give Jimmy and even Dan, because we all but Jimmy, she loved you.
Yeah, we got to know her through this show, and Anthony DiRenzo connected me with her, and I said to her, would you be interested in having a DJ for some of these events? I could come out and do them. And she got me out for one event where I talked about my work here at WPHT, and there were a lot of people there. And then we had another fundraiser right before the election, and she had me come out and DJ.
Yeah,
and
the candy one.
The weather was kind of like this, a little bit overcast, and there were still at least a good 100 to 150 people out there, including some people from our own radio station. And Hope is one of those people, very much like everybody else that you interview, they just start out from nowhere. They just see what's going on in the world. They want to do something. They're probably sitting around at their kitchen table, and they just start this, and it just comes out of nowhere. And this movement was growing big time. And this is the importance of local radio in Philadelphia. Because 20 years ago, you would not have heard any of this.
Yeah.
You would not have seen or heard. You wouldn't even know who a Hope Danoff was, or a Beth Ann Rossica, or a Meg Brock. You wouldn't know any of them because everything was syndicated back then. And now that we're local, you see these people, you get to know these people. It's almost like they become part of this extended family of 1210 WPHT, and it's great to see that. But
because I bring my girlfriends, and these are some good girlfriends. Same with Kathy Barnett is somebody else.
Kathy Barnett, another one who's just come here. Now she's doing her own show. People like Linda Kearns who show up here on Wednesday mornings live in studio. And everybody's gathered up for one purpose. And thank God that they did, because look at the outcome of last year's election. Now we just got to make sure we get Chitterelli over the finish line in November. And you heard that event on Friday. It was packed. It was probably mild. And that's the beauty of This is why Talk Radio 1210
So true,
WPHT
Jimmy.
is so important right now, to be live and local.
855-839-1210. So, Bob Salerno, we wanted to talk about this event and really honor Hope Fox Danoff, our friend. But I also want to talk about the event that's going to be a fun event, and that's usually this time of year, Bob Salerno, we would be doing the Police Athletic League, the Halloween that we've done for, I don't even know, decades. But we have, or not decades, but maybe over, 15? How many years? But now it's going to be,
I think
how many years has it been?
We're probably a good 20 years into the...
We were 12. That's our story, and we're sticking with it.
That's it. You know what I mean? It wasn't always Halloween. It was like a food fest.
Yes,
and,
food fest.
It went on and on from there. And it grew. I mean, it grew. I mean, obviously, we started off at a little country club, and, we winded up at Philmont because it was just, we were getting 600 people. I mean, it was amazing. But this one is going to be a spectacular holiday event. There's going to be gorgeous settings. I mean, it's just going to be, and it'll be a food fest as well. I mean, we should have at least 20 restaurants. I'm hoping to get a little bit more, and I'm working on that as well. So yes, this is going to be good, and there'll be a lot of fun things there as well. I mean, our chief Peggy Myers, she always has big surprises there for people, and people enjoy it. There'll be so many things for them to do and have fun with, but it'll be a nice little holiday event right before. It's November 20th. It'll be at Philmont Country Club. So it's we'll maybe put it out there again as we get closer. But you and I together, we always.
I know we always dress up, have fun. Thursday, November 20th. It's 7 to 10 p.m. I actually love this. The fact that it's the Palladays, that it's the food fest. But it's the week before Thanksgiving, actually. So there's always that little lull. I think this is a great time rather than before Halloween. But it's Thursday, November 20th, and you can check out the Abington Police Athletic League. They're all over social media. We'll be talking about it more. We'll promote it more. But it's all you can eat. It is so much fun. Music, celebration. And I'll be there. We'll have a lot of us there. But, Bob, this is going to be a wonderful celebration. It's so much fun.
Wonderful Wonderland event, and it's just going to be spectacular. Yeah, it'll be, tickets are $50, but it's so worth it. I mean, for what you're going to get, with the restaurants, and there's just so many things to do there. It's just going to be amazing, and it's good to go to events like this. I mean,
that's true.
As we see all the time, and Hope is a good example that here's a viable life that we thought would have a long life. So this event, it's good for people to just come out, have fun, and this is for a good cause. I mean, we're in our 25th year at the Abington Police Athletic League, and we started, on a whim there, 2001. A lot of great people, and it grew and grew and grew, and we helped so many children out. And so many adults come back now and say, if it wasn't for you guys, I'm off drugs. I got off of drugs. I got myself together. I have family now. I'm so happy. You really, And sometimes you don't even realize what a difference you make until they, until some of them come back and discuss it. So, if you could make a difference in someone's life, and sometimes it doesn't take much. People say, well, I don't have the money to donate. But you could get involved and just do something. Just make someone. Just spreading kindness. And, people around you.
The human touch, as we say.
The human touch. Yeah, it just makes a difference.
Well, I can't wait to see you in person. We've talked on the phone, but usually we see each other. Really, but, man, we'll get a big bear hug to you, Bob Salerno. You're just such a sweetheart and a good soul. And it's abingtonpd.org. We got to come. I'll be promoting this. This is the November event coming up. But big hug to you and lots of love. You're just a great friend.
Too. I wouldn't mind just leaving you with this. If you love somebody, tell. Yeah. Don't be afraid to say, call them up and say, hey, you know what? I love you. Don't wait, because it is too short, and you never, ever know what's going to happen.
Man.
So I'm just going to say that and kind of leave it go, because it's things like this that really teach us a lesson, and
so true.
How short life is, and the people that we do love, we should just tell them.
Beautifully said, Bob Salerno. To you and your family, I'll see you soon, my friend. Remember,
I will too. Thanks.
Oh,
Great to
thank
talk
you.
to you. All your people there, you guys are all tremendous. I love listening to you.
Wait, from Dan Borowski, Jimmy Kelly, from all of us, we give you a big bear hug over the airwaves. Thank you, Bob.
I'm sending it back to you, but I don't want to drop the phone.
Oh no!
Love you guys.
Yeah, so November 20th, great event. I'll promote it more so you know about it, but it's going to be a Thursday night. I really hope you come out. It is so much fun. And by the way, helps you with your holiday shopping because they have like amazing gift baskets and stuff that you'll get deals on. They're already wrapped up for you. So it's awesome. We have so much breaking this morning with the Middle East peace deal and everything, but just to bring that personal side to you as far as Hope Danoff, because I know so many of you got to know her at all these different events. I think of, and she's one of those people, I think of Stacey Garrity, by the way, like everybody who met her just immediately loved her. The first time I met her, and then just said, hey, we got to get her on the show. Same thing. You just know she's somebody who exudes this positive energy. And she was somebody who would call me, how are your sons? How are the boys? That's just how she was always worried about everybody else. And it is a lesson. Reach out, make sure everybody's okay. Just say hello. That was really what Hope Danoff was all about. So our tribute to her and prayers with her family, her daughter. I know her daughter's just coming over from Israel for this event. Is devastated. So, and her husband. So, all of our love and prayers with you. I think we have to take a quick break, I'm assuming. All right, we'll be right back and just update you before we head to the Dom show. Be right back.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Are you tired of online threats? Then get an antivirus. It's the only online protection you will ever need.
Disclaimer, an antivirus is just half protection online. It will not protect you from snoopers or encrypt your traffic. So get better online protection with NordVPN. NordVPN will encrypt your traffic, protect you from malware and phishing, and stop annoying ads. Save 77% on NordVPN and get 3 extra months.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
My name is Barbara Panzano. I live in Hatboro, Pennsylvania. It's really important to get involved with Crash Proof sooner rather than later. You're going to make more than you ever made in the stock market. With Crash Proof, I actually made double digits in 2 of my accounts. One was over 20%, was over 13%.